So I'm stuck at home with childcare issues. So, Wednesday, how's it going? Counting down to Christmas. Literally. So what are your energy levels like? Just let me know. Tired and still at 4.
I've got more energy than usual. Just constant.
Thanks, Rachel. Oh, good. Any wish list? Anything on your wish list? Oh, I'm sorry. So, aches, any pains, anything that needs a little bit more TLC? Always, yeah, always back. Good. So kind of just an easier theme, which probably fits in just general. Well, it's kind of probably something we can all relate to. I know it's anti-bullying week, and it's always easy just to, spot. But how about us? Are we bullying ourselves, criticizing ourselves the most generally? Kind of beat ourselves up about smallest things. Bullying is that intentional, repetitive kind of, it's an action. It's like talk can be talking, can also be an action, but even just our mind. So if you think about those repetitive negative thoughts that keep popping up in our heads. So it's kind of comparing ourselves, maybe pushing ourselves. So tonight, maybe step back a little bit, and also probably the energy outside helps, that kind of dark mood. Just drop into your kind of your own bodies. Just notice, is this really what I need tonight? So if I ask you, come into plank, do you come into plank because I just tell you to? Or do you think, oh, tonight, no, just take it easy. So those are the situations I'm playing it here. So again, everything I'm doing is just to guide you. You need to decide, does it feel right tonight? So we start quite kind of easy, almost picking from the energy you're currently having and slowly building up from there. Okay, starting on your backs, and we start with breath awareness with a bit more, with a little bit of moving breath awareness. So literally actually have your legs stretched out and your arms up overhead as if you're just waking up. Maybe bring your fingers together, stretch out. So really tense the whole body, squeezing the whole body, and then just let it sink down. Just let yourself settle here for a moment. Taking deep breath into your belly and perhaps direct that breath all the way up into your lungs. And on the exhale, bring your left knee in towards your chest, your arms hug around your left knee. Just hold onto your left knee for a couple of breaths. Let the weight of your legs settle onto your belly. Lengthening through the back, or lengthening through the lower back, just softening here. And on the next inhale, bring your leg out back to where it used to be and arms up overhead. So coming back into the original stretching position. On the next exhale, hug your right knee in towards your chest. Bit of squeeze. Let the leg hover for a couple of breaths. Just beginning to stretch out the back of your body, the thigh, the buttocks. And on your next inhale, bring that leg back to where it was, arms up overhead. So find your own little sequence with your breath. Exhale, hug your left knee in towards your chest. And on the inhale, bring your arms up overhead, your leg to the starting position. Exhale, bring your right knee in towards your chest. Squeeze. Inhale, lengthen. So use those inhales and exhales kind of wisely. Don't rush. So let the breath guide that movement. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, bring the opposite knee in. So kind of a moving breath awareness. So stretching out on the inhale, having that opposite leg in on the exhale, gently squeeze. So inhale, lengthen, and exhale, having that knee in. Let's find your own flow, find your own rhythm. So we're literally stretching tonight from head to toe, come to a little bit of a head to toe flow. So as we started with the left knee, also then finish with your left knee. So perhaps take one more on each side. And once you have your left knee back into your chest, then bring the right leg in as well. So we're having both knees kind of just hovering over our tummies. So you can just rock a little bit from side to side, maybe some circular movement on your lower back, perhaps circling from the left point of your pelvis over to the right outer point of your pelvis. And then change directions as well. So finding stillness. Keeping in line with that, inhaling and exhaling, bring movement and arms into the equation. On the inhale, bring your arms overhead, your legs up towards the ceiling, lengthening here. And on the exhale, having your knees back in towards your chest. Inhale, reach your arms up, legs up. Exhale, slowly having the knees in. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, having the knees in. Adding on from here, inhale, lengthen, arms, reach up overhead. Your feet are up towards the ceiling. Bring your feet into your legs into a V shape. So taking your legs a little bit out to the left and to the right. Exhale, bring your legs together and hugging them back in towards your chest. Inhale, lengthening, legs into V shape. And then exhale, legs or feet together, hugging them back in towards your chest. So again, find your little flow here. Inhale, arms up overhead, legs come into the V shape. Exhale, hugging the knees in, little squeeze. Good. So perhaps take 3 more as you bring your arms up overhead, legs, feet or legs into that V shape. Exhale, hugging them in. Good. So when you finish perhaps those two more in total, then keep your knees hugged in towards your chest. Lovely. And perhaps curl together like a little ball. So bring your nose towards your knees. So stretching, visualize what you're stretching from the back of your skull all the way towards your tailbone. And then bring both feet down towards the earth. So doing or stretching the front body as well as bringing strength into the back body. So bridge posture. Keep it quite perhaps keep it quite soft to start with. Arms alongside the body. Inhale, press the feet into the earth, lifting up through your hips. Notice if your knees go out to the left and to the right. Exhale, slowly lower. So perhaps roll up your spine, starting with your tailbone first, lower back, mid back, upper back. And as you lower, rolling the spine down, upper back, mid back, lower back, tailbone. So that brings you also into that present moment. So sometimes it's easy just to lift and lower the spine up in one piece. So visualize those different sections of your spine. Rolling up, tailbone, lower back, mid back, upper back, and then rolling down, upper, mid, lower back, tailbone. So also slows down that movement as you're really probably thinking, which of those vertebrae am I kind of traveling through at the moment? So the next time you bring your lift your hips up towards the ceiling, perhaps stay here for a couple of breaths, rooting through your feet, pressing the shoulders into the earth, lengthening so that your head is lower than your heart. It also activates the relaxation response. Strengthening the glutes, the backs of your thighs. Hold for one more breath and slowly roll your spine down. So the next time you bring your hips up towards the ceiling, perhaps bring your arms in as well, so your arms reach up and overhead. If you want, stay here, pressing into your feet. Otherwise, keep it quite dynamic as your arms move down and your hips come down as well. So find your flow, pick what works best for you. Maybe you want to challenge yourself a little bit, which is perfectly fine. So then keep to that slightly stronger version. If you just want to strengthen a little bit, come to a bit of a stretch, then keep it just quite soft, quite accessible. At any point if the lower back becomes maybe a little bit agitated, then bring your spine down, perhaps pause and rest for a couple of breaths. So activate or just strengthening the glutes really helps stabilizing the lower back. So perhaps finish that last movement, the last hold or more static, and then hug your knees back in towards your chest. So again, just stretching here. Perhaps roll together like a little ball. Bring that spine almost in the opposite direction. Good. And release. Bring your hands alongside the body. Your legs hover above your abdominals. And just slowly sway your legs from side to side. So you need those abdominals kick in as you bring your knees back towards the center. So use the exhale to bring your knees back to center. Inhale, let your legs kind of hover out towards the left and to the right. So we are breaking kind of that cycle or that circle down into those breaths. So inhale, legs reach out towards the side. Exhale, bring it back in. Also, you decide how far you want to bring your legs out towards the left and to the right. So the further away you bring your legs away from the midline, the stronger or the more strength is required to bring your knees back to center. So if you want to challenge yourself, you can bring your hands onto your abdominals, onto your belly. So then, because the arms actually help quite a bit, you can even bring the arms out to the sides, onto the earth, maybe bring the palms up. So just finding a position where you're traveling through those postures, noticing how it changes by, or how much the arms actually come into play when it comes to just circling from side to side. And then slowly bring that movement back to stillness. Let your legs just hover in a 90-degree angle, so your shins are almost parallel to the earth. Your lower back really presses into, or is almost flat with the floor. Activate your abdomen, so drawing the navel towards your spine, and then tip that right big toe towards the earth and bring it back up. So just tipping the big toe, the opposite big toe down towards the earth and bring it back up. So keep that connection of your lower back with the earth at all times. So just a little bit of a dip down, bring it back up. So working with the core really stabilizes that, the lower back especially. So your hands can rest on your belly and hands can rest on the floor, whatever feels accessible. You can even bring the big toe a little bit further away from you. So as if you want to tip the front of your mat. So just the only thing to look out for is to keep that connection of your lower back with the earth as you lift your, as you bring your leg up and move your leg further away from you. At any point, pause, maybe hug your knees in towards your chest, rocking on your lower back. Deep breath into your belly, exhale, soften. So bring both feet down towards the earth. Draw that lower back into the earth. So the best kind of test is if your lower back has that connection with the earth, try to see if your hands can kind of go underneath that lower back area, that arch. So that's when it presses. So if you can't get your hands through, that's when the lower back really has that connection with the earth. Begin to walk your feet, just kind of in baby steps towards me, so towards the front of your mat, keeping your knees bent. So you always note so your kind of benchmark is to keep that connection with your lower back and the earth, then walk your feet back towards your buttocks. And as you bring your feet back, then release the lower back. So you're coming into that natural curve. You release that contraction, the tension from the lower back. So do a couple of more ones. Draw the navel towards the earth and then slowly walk your feet, kind of march your feet towards me and hold that lower back connected to the earth. Then slowly bring the feet back. And as you come back, then soften. So your natural curve automatically comes back. Take a deep breath in. So we are holding that. It's a very subtle movement, yet it strengthens those muscles supporting the lower back. So do another one. Draw the navel in, flattening the lower back as you walk your feet. Just kind of in baby steps towards the front of your mat. Continue to breathe here as well, while still walking your feet backwards and forwards. As you come back to your starting position, soften so that lower back relaxes, the natural curve comes back. From here, keep your feet, or bring your feet to the outside edges of your mat and just rock your knees from side to side. So we are moving into that kind of windscreen wiper legs. So they soften and release the lower back as well. So you can take your arms out to the side, perhaps cactus arms, turn your head in the opposite direction. So finding your kind of own little rhythm. It activates that relaxation response here as well. So it's always kind of a balance between strengthening and stretching. Good. So we're probably also tapping into the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is kind of the largest nerve, starting at the back of your skull, running all the way down along the spine, touching all the major organs. So we kind of play with that nerve a little bit later. Good. So kind of swivel your legs, releasing the core as well as the lower back. So take one more on each side. And then from here, you can either bring your knees into your chest, rocking up to seated, or just rolling onto one side and then transitioning into a seated position. Good. Doing some cat and cow seated. So optional here, you can either sit cross-legged or with your legs out in front of you. So holding onto your knees, whatever feels most accessible. So however you sit, you can either hold on to your knees or hold on your knees here. Starting with the cat and cow. So draw the navel in as you bring the chin towards your chest. Use your arms to really let go. So you're holding onto your kneecaps. You're almost, just your hands support you. And you may feel a sensation in your upper back. Inhale, pull your chest forward, slightly leaning forward as your shoulders squeeze back. Exhale, drawing the navel in as you kind of soften here. Inhale, coming back up. So you're also tilting the pelvis. Shoulder blades squeeze back. Exhale, rounding. Stay for 1 or 2 breaths in that stretch for the upper back. Chin towards your chest. Coming back up, leading with your chest, shoulders draw back, maybe gently kind of squeezing forward. Exhale, last one here, round through your spine. Good, staying for 1 more breath. Back to center. Oh, good. So hands on one hand to one side, lengthening, reaching up, leaning over. Again, you can sit cross-legged or with your legs up here. Then find that bit of a sway from side to side, seeking that length. The only thing to be aware of, keep those sitting bones, both sitting bones planted into the earth. Swaying here, lengthening, kind of visualizing how does the rib cage respond. Is it too far you're reaching or just about right? So find that sweet spot. Good. So the next time you bring your arm up and over, stay here and visualize, direct that breath into that side, into those side ribs. Open that top arm up towards the ceiling as your chest lifts as well, letting the top arm drop back. And then exhale, thread that arm underneath the opposite armpit. Inhale, open. And exhale, thread that arm through. So upper body twist. One more time, you're opening. And exhale, thread that arm through. Big arm circle, changing sides. Stay here, kind of linger here. And focus on that breath. Send the breath into that area. One more deep breath. On the inhale again, open. Turn the chest up towards the ceiling and exhale, thread that arm underneath. So even just that action that the arm threads through or towards that armpit. Good. Last one here, opening up. Stretching, feeling the weight of the top arm, exhaling, threading through. And all the way up, coming back to center. So, however you sit, bring your hands behind you, roll the shoulders back as you lift the chest forward. So if you're sitting cross-legged, or however your legs are, so have that action of just lengthening, squeezing the shoulder blades together, bring your chin towards your chest. And look down towards the feet, towards your floor, towards the floor. Staying exactly as you are, bring the right arm over, crossing over towards your left knee, looking over towards your left shoulder. Stay on one inhale and one exhale. Bring the right arm all the way up. Good. And back. Left arm reaches up and over. So you automatically come into a twist as you look over towards your right arm. The right shoulder. Good. One more breath. And then bring that left arm up and over. Good. Release. Maybe lean back. So we're lifting up into that reverse tabletop. Knees are up, or just pointing up towards the ceiling. Lifting up. You may only want to be here. Perhaps you want to be all the way up. So find kind of that sweet in between. So coming back down. Lifting up. So it comes down to strengthen your lower back as well as how the arms, how the shoulders respond. Maybe just here, perhaps holding. Notice how it feels for your hands. So they might be pointing towards you. Maybe it feels easier out to the sides. So find that what works here. If you want to challenge yourself, you can kind of lift one leg up as if you're marching on the spot. Same, you activate that core. So again, it's just optional. You pick what's right for you at any given time. So straighten your end and coming back. Coming into two, so you can choose again. Either you just lean forward here, or if you want to stretch out with your arms, with your legs cross-legged, come into the forward fold here. So pick that version again that's accessible for you. So wherever you want to be, find that inward, that introspection, tapping into that inner wisdom, letting that upper body just soften. So wherever that is, staying for 2 more breaths. And slowly, whenever you finish, coming back up to seated and transitioning onto all fours. Oh, good. So a little bit of a wiggle, a little bit of just that softness in your body. So having the knees a little bit wider, certainly take your arms really further forward. So you find that length, find that stretch, shifting your hips from side to side, maybe even hovering here, lengthening here. So again, there's no right or wrong again, whatever it feels best into your body. So explore where you want to be a little bit more. Where does it feel a little tighter, unfamiliar territory? So explore and tap into that just inner wisdom. So I'm just keeping it a little bit more flowing here, but just in a soft way, not too much on the we have to achieve something. So then perhaps transition into that downward dog. So curl your toes under, find almost that natural transition up without staying for too long. So pedaling it out, maybe moving your hips, stretching your hips out, and at any point bring your knees down, perhaps coming back into that child's pose, swaying, tabletop sway. So you can stay up in downward dog longer, you can stay in the child pose longer. So pick what works for you. You can come into any shape and lifting your legs up, coming to that zigzag, crossing perhaps even over. So one hand crosses over towards to the right hand, perhaps towards your left thigh. So finding just a bit of that explorative attitude. Again, at any point, swing, gosh, would rather be in child's pose. So then acknowledge that. Maybe if it feels good, it feels nice stretch, stay in child's pose. Travel here between child's pose, tabletop, and downward dog. So it's that's where we bring that softness into the body, into the mind. So let you a little bit, so perhaps for another few moments, letting you explore where you want to be. You can stay longer in child's pose, you can crisscross, you can shift so that everything is safe. Just comes down to how it feels in the body. Good. So wherever you are, finish. If you're downward dog, come back onto your knees. We meet all in child's pose. So you have to make child's pose more accessible. Bring the big toes together, knees a little bit wider, it also lengthens. It releases the lower back into the lengthening. Make a cushion for your forehead perhaps to rest on. Just find that softness again. So from here, keeping almost the basic posture is child's pose, then threading one arm, say the right arm underneath that left arm, maybe staying here for just a little bit longer. So a little bit more of a static posture as you thread the right arm underneath the left armpit. So unconsciously visualize, where's your breath? Where do you want your breath to be? Is there an area that could benefit from a little bit more softness, a little bit more opening? So then you send that breath into those areas. Good. Bring that right arm back out. Perhaps if it feels uncomfortable sitting for too long a child's pose, maybe just come up for a little bit or wiggle, sitting back, and then bring that left arm, thread that left arm underneath that right arm. So we are opening up for the left side of the shoulder. Stay for a couple of more breaths. So less doing, more being. And then taking that arm back again, coming back up onto all fours, maybe a little bit of a wiggle. So perhaps rounding the spine, where you bring the spine out towards the left, to the right. So bring it into a dimension, so into movement where the spine generally doesn't move during the day. So anything that kind of moves more sideways, it's a good way to give that spine a little bit of TLC. Good, and from here, slowly transition onto your belly. So bringing your hands underneath your forehead, just softening you, perhaps wiggling through your lower back. So we are looking at strengthening the lower back again tonight as well. So giving you always options to progress. So keeping your upper body relatively still and soft, and just lift up the right leg. So perhaps just an inch or so, or just a little bit off the floor, whatever feels accessible, and then bring it down. Change sides, so lifting the left leg off the floor. And then bring it down. So you can keep that leg lifted, however, or if you want to hold it for a little bit longer, just make sure you continue to breathe. If it feels too easy, lift your forehead and your arms up as well with the alternate leg and exhale down. So you're supporting your forehead on your palms and keeping the elbows also sticking out towards the left and to the right. So inhale, you lift, exhale, you lower. If it feels too strong, just come back to perhaps just one leg at a time. Maybe just an inch or so for the upper back, for the upper body. So just find that softness. So having our head supported really keeps that length in our spine, in the spine. So slowly looking at strengthening. Perhaps alternate, maybe keeping both feet on the floor, perhaps just lifting up through the upper body. So how is that feeling on the lower back? I kind of assess how it feels. Just keeping your feet on the floor, maybe lifting one leg up, perhaps even lifting the whole body off the floor, hovering here. So whatever you're doing, continue to breathe into your belly, into your body. At any point, maybe soften, wiggle your bottom from side to side. Maybe even bending through your knees, so letting your legs sway from side to side. So then finish perhaps those last few strengthening postures, whichever version works for you. So pay attention to those signals you're getting from your lower back. And bring your hands underneath your shoulders again. And lifting up into that mini cobra. So roll the shoulders back as you lift up. Engage through your legs so you're keeping the feet on the floor, but your knees lift. And exhale, lower. So we're doing it twice more. Roll the shoulders back, lift. And exhale, lower. Keeping the elbows really hugged towards the ribcage. Last when you inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. So take a moment to land, to maybe release the lower back. Press into your hands, coming into tabletop, and all the way up into downward dog. So pedaling out your feet, stretching through the calf, perhaps one heel at a time. Good. And from here, begin to walk your feet towards your hands. So keeping your knees bent as you make your way towards the front of your mat. Keeping that upper body softening of your legs. Just stay for a couple of breaths, letting that neck of yours become really heavy. And then slowly roll up to standing. Uncurling vertebra and vertebra. So looking at a very subtle strengthening here, coming into a slight flow. So from the top of your body, have the feet perhaps hip distance apart. And then come into that kind of gentle chair posture. So knees bent, you can have a little bit of a pulsing, so you find your kind of right, and then bring your arms up. Come to lift your heels, come to the balls of your feet. Good. Bring your heels down and fold forward. Halfway lift as you let your hands slide up your shins, looking forward. Exhale, folding forward. Softening here. Shape your neck, shape your head. And then roll up again up to standing. Good. So have again that soft bend in your knees. Shift your weight into your right leg. So you're almost just coming to the ball, to the big toe. lifting that left leg, keeping that both knees bent, and then stepping back into that high lunge. Bringing your arms up. And then exhale, lean forward as you bring your arms back. Good. Inhale, lengthening, lifting up. Exhale, leaning forward as you bring your arms back, so you're strengthening the quads. Inhale. And exhale. So keep your arms here. Keep your front knee bent as you slowly step your left leg back towards your right foot. Finding how to stand. Oh, good. So a little bit of a wiggle. One more time. So come into your kind of your imaginary chair. Shift your weight to your right leg. Lift it. Lean forward as if you're coming to a warrior three. Stepping the foot back, landing in high lunge. Bring your arms up. Big inhale. Exhale. Lean forward as you bring your arms back, lengthening. Good. Inhale. Reach up. And exhale. Forward. Last one here. Inhale. Reach up. And then exhale. Find that stillness here. Begin to slowly transitioning with your left leg forward. And you're reaching up. Palms together. As you bring your hands towards your heart center. Really forward, hey? Picking up the pace. So, shake it out loud. Second side. Okay, just make this side. So, come into your imaginary chair. So, this time, shift your weight to your left foot. Kind of still having the right toe still in contact with the earth. Slowly stepping back, landing in high lunge so the back heel is lifted. Reaching those arms up. Exhale, lean forward. You're flying. Twice more. Inhale. Oops. Exhale, lean forward. So have that connection to your core, to keeping the upper and lower body stable. Last one here. Reaching back. And bring your arms up. Another one. So take your arms back. Slowly shift that weight forward. Step forward and reach up. Together. Good. Also gets the heart rate going a little bit. Last one here. Come to the imaginary chair. Weight to your left leg. Now figure out how it's balanced as you slowly bring your leg back. Good. Bring your arms up. Inhale. Exhale. Lengthen. Twice more. Inhale. Reach up. Exhale. Lengthen. Inhale, reach up. Good. Exhale, lengthen. Last one here. Inhale, reach up. And slowly bring your arms down. Transition into that standing again. Stepping forward, reaching up. Arms together. Good. Give your legs a bit of a shake. So, couple of, or just moving from here into another balancing posture, which also opens to the hip. So step your right foot over your left foot and find your posture. So you can stay here, you can have your foot here with your leg, with your knee open to the side. So if you want to progress, slide that foot up, bend your standing leg, that left leg, as if you're sitting in a chair. Flex that top foot, palms together. Good. Focus. Balance. Perfect. Breathe. So tapping into the inner strength. If you feel you want to progress from here, sit a little bit deeper if you wish. Good. Again, optional. You can stay exactly where you are. Good. One more breath. And then slowly also come back out and step here. Good. So second side. Again, find that balance. Again, each hip is different. Perhaps see where you want to stop, where you want to be. You can always stay here. Find that focus. Palms together, gentle squeeze. And then sit back. So chest lifts, your spine is nice and long, good. Breathe. So by pressing your palms together, you really activate that upper back area, chest area, good. Again, if you wish, you can always sit a little deeper. One more breath, good balancing, good focus. And slowly come back out. Shake it out. Oh, so from here, just a very gentle way to work once more in a small back bend by activating the vagus nerve as well. So just traveling through just a warming sequence body for the whole spine again. So from the back of your mat, please. So bring your arms out to the sides, reaching up. And then exhale, just fold forward. Lengthening through your, from the tailbone all the way to your upper back. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, folding forward. Walk into your downward dog again. So again, any movement, if you wish, bring one leg up. So you're balancing on one leg, opening up to the hip through one side. Perhaps change sides as well, lengthen, stretches also the hamstring. From here, transition either onto your knees, or if you have still quite a lot of energy left, come into a plank, but that's again just optional. So and then lower onto your belly. So bring your palms out in front of you, so they're coming into that Sphinx posture. So find that length that works for you. So we're going to be here for a little bit longer. So from here, turn your head and look towards your left shoulder. And breathe and stay here for a few breaths. So we are stretching the vagus nerve. So it starts at the base of the skull. And through that kind of a longer hold, we're gently lengthening that nerve. So if your eyes feel okay, you can also, while having the head still turn to the left side, perhaps let your eyes look up into the left corner of your eyes. So both eyes kind of look up. Stay for, if it feels uncomfortable for your eyes, keep your eyes in a neutral, soft position. Stay for another 5 breaths. And slowly bring your head back to center. When you come onto your forearms, maybe just soften here. Breathing into your belly. So 2 more breaths. And then coming back into that Sphinx posture. So the same on the opposite side. So turn your head towards the right side, looking over your right shoulder. So find a way to stay for a couple of breaths as you lengthen through the left side of your neck. And perhaps even with your eyes, look up into the top right hand corner. So the nerve that controls eyesight and the eye muscles actually originates in the back of our head. So that also nourishes that nerve, those nerve endings and muscles supporting eyes. Stay for another 5 breaths. And slowly bring your head back to center. Make a cushion with your palms and you softening here. Breathing into your belly and breathing out through your nose or through your mouth. So finding that softness again through your spine, through your belly, through all the muscles in your body. from here, bring your hands underneath your shoulders again. We are just transitioning into child's pose. So press into your chest, into your hands, shifting the weight all the way back. So you can bring the knees a little bit further out to the left and to the right, softening into that posture where you lengthen from the tailbone all the way to your upper back. So child's pose is the best posture to really release any tension on your lower back, but at the same time bring those calming inward-looking qualities into the body. So stay for 2 more breaths. And find your way into kneeling or to all fours and into a seated position. So bring the soles of your feet together, just the outer edges of your soles, so that the soles don't have to press all the way together. So just that they're a bit like a book. And find a little bit of a wobble. So again, goal is to lengthen through the crown of your head. And in that wobbling, slowly allow your upper body to lean a little bit forward. And then eventually find stillness and softening over your legs. So your hands can be resting on your knees, on your shins, on your feet, on the floor. So stay here for about 5 inhales and exhales. So with every inhale, you might feel a little bit of a lift. And with every exhale, you might feel that softening your upper body over your legs. So feel the weight of your head almost drawing you towards the earth. It's 2 more breaths, or perhaps 1 more breath, wherever you are. And slowly coming back up into seated position. You can bring the knees together and transition onto your back, hugging your knees in towards your chest. So we're moving into a deeper version of a twist in a minute. So allowing just the spine to settle, allowing the spine to lengthen. And from here, let your whole body roll over towards the right side. So you're lying on your right side. And once you're there, bring your left, so turning the left shoulder back towards the earth. Bring your left hand onto your lower back. Literally, the left hand rests on your lower back. And your right hand on the left side of your abdominal area. And so with your hands, breathe literally into your hands. So your lower back, bring your hands up towards your kidney area, perhaps into that area. And breathe into your hand that's resting on your lower back. So it probably takes a few attempts. So we are sending the breath really not just into the front body, perhaps also into the side body, but especially into the back body. So nourishing those adrenal glands. Excreting that cortisol hormone, so the one that is responsible for releasing it into the bloodstream. So that's when we feel it impacts all the organs. So stay for 1 more breath, breathing into your left hand, perhaps into your right hand as well. And then rolling back onto your back, hugging the knees in, so coming into that starting position. So if you want, you can curl together like a little ball. And then roll over towards your left side. So start on your left side and then roll that right shoulder back onto or towards the earth. Bring your right hand onto your lower back and your left hand just onto to the right side of your abdominal area. And send that breath once more into those areas. So this is kind of the biofeedback you're getting, where your breath travels to. It's always easier if you feel the air is rising and softening with each inhale and exhale. So it takes a little bit of practice, especially as we don't really notice where the breath journey is going to. So twists are always good. They bring the body back into balance, physically, but also emotionally. Stay for 2 more breaths. And then roll back onto your lower back, having the knees into your chest. And bring your feet down. So once more, just a bit of a quick stimulation of the vagus nerve. Bring your hands behind your head, behind the back of your head. So you kind of your skull, your rests in the palm. So you're not moving at all. So your nose points up towards the ceiling. So take both eyes, or let both eyes roll up towards the left, kind of up into the top left-hand corner, and keep them there for about 20 seconds. So we are crossing over. Again, we are utilizing those eye muscles. We are keeping those eyes pointing towards the top left-hand corner. So continue to breathe naturally, normally. So through that constant holding, we're tapping into that nerve, into that vagus nerve, which feels probably a little bit strenuous. Maybe you have the urge to have a yawn, or maybe to swallow. So these are natural responses. So keeping that gaze up towards the left top hand corner. And bringing your eyes back to neutral. Perhaps blink a couple of times, just softening, coming back into neutral. And then second side, so turn both eyes, so the nose or your face does not move at all, just your eyes look up towards the top right hand corner. So hold that kind of gaze, breathe into your body, into your chest, into your lungs, into your belly. So holding it for a couple of seconds. So that posture actually can be held for 20 seconds all the way up to actually 1 minute. So I'm not going to go to that extreme. So just a longer hold activates those muscles running into the back of our skull, back of our head. So holding that gaze, trying to breathe normally. So a couple of more breaths. Bring your eyes back to neutral, perhaps blink a couple of times. Take a few deep breaths. And then set yourself up for relaxation, so you can release your arms. Perhaps put on any socks, any blankets. You can rest on your back, on your side, on your front, seated. Use the bolsters So eyes closed or soft gaze. Just let your breath return to its natural rhythm. Release the full weight of your body. Avoid holding on to any gripping. So bring that softness back into the body through your breath. So that your feet, toes, your ankles, soles of your feet completely soften. Release your shins and calves, your knees, your thighs. Soften your pelvis, your hips, your abdominals. Every exhale, feel the ribcage softening. Soften your chest, your upper back, backs of your shoulders. So releasing the mid back and also the lower back into the earth. Bring that heaviness into your arms, your elbows, your wrists. Your neck. Release your upper and your lower jaw. Clench your teeth. Soften your eyes, your eyeballs. The area between your forehead, your eyebrows. And top of your head. Your whole body is at ease. Breath is quiet. Your mind calm. Very slowly and gradually invite deeper breaths back into your body. You wiggle your toes, your feet, your fingers, your hands. Maybe rock your head slowly from side to side. Bring movement back into your neck, into your head. Maybe stretch your arms up overhead, stretching from fingertips to toes. Bring your knees into your chest. Hug your knees in. Rocking or just gently, just and then roll over to one side. Stay there for a breath or two. Find your way back up into any seated position. Finishing one more breath. Bring the arms up. Got all that good stuff. And bring it back into your heart center. So thank yourself for trekking out here through the cold. Well done. Namaste.